Hi everyone, it's Robyn from Beautifully Wonder and welcome back to another video. I wanted to do a bit of a different video today and introduce a new series to my channel. So when I started this channel and all of the videos that I have posted so far have been about photography, but my actual background is in emergency management. I went to school for emergency and security management at the Justice Institute of British Columbia, and until recently I have been working for a municipality in Northern Alberta as an emergency program coordinator. A few months ago, when I decided to embark on this creative journey, I wanted to find a way to combine my love and passion for emergency management with my future in creative work. So on other channels, you'll be able to find content on how to build a business, how to build a brand, how to market yourself. But here at Beautifully Wonder, you're gonna find content on how to build a resilient brand and business in today's world of risks for creators and small business owners. How I thought I would format these videos is during the week I would post one video about one topic with a few tips on emergency planning, and then on the weekend I would post videos about photography. All in all, my hope here is that these videos will help you creators and small business owners create a resilient brand and business so you can continue doing what you love and the disasters of today impact you a little less. Now that you have this background, in today's video, I wanted to discuss and convince you the importance of having a business crisis preparedness program, no matter who you are, what your business is, or your size. So let's get into today's video. With COVID-19, many of you have likely faced some sort of personal or professional challenge due to the pandemic. In emergency management, we tend to see the world through the lens of risks. Risks is the likelihood that a particular hazard will cause adverse effects within a community, an organization, or a subset of the population. It is determined by the nature of the hazard, its frequency of occurring, and the magnitude of the event. Now, there are three very broad categories of hazards: natural, technological, and human caused. So some examples of natural hazards are wildfires, floods, tornadoes, hurricanes, earthquakes. Some examples of technological hazards are plane crashes, train derailments, utility failures. And some examples of human-caused hazards are things like labor disruptions, supply chain disruptions, and computer viruses. Any of these hazards could create a secondary impact or a cascading event to an organization. For example, take COVID-19. COVID is a health hazard that has caused economic failure in many parts of the world. Many people are like, so what? They don't connect the impact to the risk. They might know they should be prepared, but they don't take the steps to being prepared, or they don't know where to begin or what to do. However, taking the steps, doing the action, and having these conversations will help your business not only survive, but maybe thrive during and after. So I want to give you 3 real-world examples of how taking some steps could have helped prevent, mitigate, and help some businesses through a disaster, and really convince you the importance of having a business crisis preparedness program. My first example comes from when I was living in Fort McMurray. Now, there was this camera store that was situated in Lower Townsite, and Lower Townsite is in a floodplain, so it's very susceptible to flooding. Now, this camera store had inventory everywhere, just like any retail store would. However, one of the recommendations that any municipality will make to residents that live in a floodplain is to raise your belongings. Get your stuff off the floor and the bottom shelves. And this recommendation can apply to retail stores as well. Raise your inventory. Now, a couple months ago, Fort McMurray, the Lower Townsite area, had a devastating flood, and this camera store lost thousands of dollars of equipment. Now, had the store planned, budgeted, and invested in a mitigation project that would have reduced the risk to flooding, a known risk for their location, they wouldn't have experienced as much of a financial loss as they did. This is just one example of how planning and creating a business crisis preparedness program can save you time, stress, and financial loss. Another example is one that I read on the news, and it was about a storefront jewelry owner who was struggling during COVID because her customers couldn't shop in the store. So during COVID, she was working on her website so she can sell goods online. Now, a project under their business crisis preparedness program could have been developing the website ahead of time. So not only are you expanding how you do business, but you are also, based on the risks of your area, creating a redundant system so you can continue doing business during these hard times. In emergency management, we are always thinking of what are the risks and what are the impacts? What is our plan A, B, and C? What do we need to do to prepare and be ready for when it happens, because it's going to happen, and how do we create these redundant systems? My last example is specifically for creators. Now, one of the challenges that COVID-19 has created regards financials. Now, financials can be an extremely sensitive topic, but one of the recommendations a municipality will always make to its residents is that you should be creating an emergency savings or a rainy day fund. Basically, from a resident perspective, they suggest you should save anywhere between 3 to 6 months of savings. So if you are out of work for 3 to 6 months, you have a nest egg that will cover you. Now, I know there are a lot of challenges in creating this nest egg, and I don't want to get into those challenges in today's video, but the principle I am trying to get across here is just set some money aside so you can use that during emergencies. And this can apply to businesses as well. Figure out what your expenses are and come up with a savings plan so you have some money set aside for emergencies. So photographers, if you have $1,000 worth of professional expenses and $2,000 worth of personal expenses, you should be setting aside anywhere between $9,000 to $18,000. Coming up with this money isn't going to be immediate, and how you come up with this money is really entirely up to you. The idea here is just have some money set aside that you can use as a cushion during times like this. The thing about resident, municipal, and business preparedness programs is that you have to make it enough of a priority to make it happen. It really starts with your own mindset. It really breaks my heart to read and see so many small businesses have such a hard time right now due to COVID. So I really want to provide my knowledge and experience in emergency management to help you creators and small business owners create a more prepared and resilient brand so you can continue doing what you love. I hope I've convinced a small part of you that building a crisis preparedness program for your business is worth it and is important. Like I said earlier, I'm going to try producing a video every single week with some tips on how creators and small business owners like yourself can create your own crisis preparedness program. As usual, there will be a companion blog post at beautifullywander.com. If you like this video, please hit that like button below. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell, and I'll see you in the next video.